Hello YouTube, we're on the Real Programming channel. I am its host, my name is Andrei. Welcome, I greet you on my channel. This is our fourth lesson, it's about HTML JavaScript. We will talk about what can you do with JavaScript. And for start, there are no dumb questions. I heard that the HTML5 standard isn't going to be a final recommendation until 2022. Is that true? And if so, why are we bothering? The W3C is a standards body that formally recommends the HTML5 standard. And what you need to know about W3C is that they are conservation bunch, so conservative that they prefer to wait until a few generations of HTML5 browsers have come and gone before they give their signal. That's okay, thus the standard should be wrapped up in the next couple of years, and the browser makers and well on to their way to implementing it. So yes, it may be quite a while before HTML5 is a final recommendation, but it's expected to be a stable standard by 2014, and for all practical purposes you should get going now on HTML5. What happens after HTML5 is final? HTML6? We have no idea, but maybe whatever it is, it will come with flying cars, a rocket suit and a dinner in a pill. Remember that even if we do adopt HTML6, the doc type won't change, assuming W3C keeps their promise and the future versions of HTML remain backward compatible. Will be in good shape to take whatever comes next. Chrome, Safari, Firefox, zillion mobile browsers. Isn't the world just getting worse? How will we ever make sure our pages work on all these browsers? While there is plenty of healthy competition in the marketplace for browsers, desktop and mobile, in reality many of these browsers are based on a few common HTML engines. For instance, Chrome, Safari and the mobile browsers in the Android and iPhone are all based on a WebKit, an open source browser's engine. So for the most part your pages will work out of the gate on multiple browsers without a lot of effort on your part. Why not just use Flash to solve cross browsers issues? Flash is a great tool for many applications, and certainly on the desktop is the pervasive cross operating system and browsers. HTML5 and its family of technologies is trying to allow you to do with open standards many of the same things that Flash can do. So which way should you go? One thing to think about is the amount of investment going into HTML5 technologies within Google, Apple, Microsoft and others. Over the long term, HTML5 is going to be a huge player, and in the mobile space it already is. So while a choice is yours, and we're sure both are going to be around for a long time, the industry is heading towards open standards. Exercise HTML archaeology. We did some digging and found some code embedded in an HTML page. We're hoping you can help us crack the code to figure out what it means. Don't worry, we don't expect you to understand this code, we're just trying to get your brain warmed up with a little deductive reasoning. A hint document represents the entire HTML page, and the getElement by ID probably has something to do with HTML elements and its. We gotta talk. If you've been with us since at first HTML and CSS of our last playlist, you read this far, look or watch far into the book without reproposing it as a firewood, We know you probably have a good understanding of user markup language and style sheets to create great looking web pages. Knowing those two technologies can you get a long way. But with HTML5, things are changing. Web pages are becoming rich experiences and full-blown applications, and that have behavior are updated on the fly and interact with the user. Building these kinds of pages requires a fair bit of programming, and if you're going to write code of their browser, there is only one game in town: JavaScript. Now, if you're programming or written simple scripts before, you're going to be in a good shape. JavaScript, despite some rumors, is a fantastic language and will take you taught everything you need to know to write applications in these lessons. If you haven't programmed before, we're going to do everything we can to take you along for the ride. In their case, one of the huge benefits of JavaScript is how accessible it is to new programmers. We can think of a better or a more fun way to learn to program. So what now? Let's just briefly get introduced to a little JavaScript, and then we'll really dive in deep in chapter 2. In fact, for now, don't worry too much about getting every detail over the next few pages. We just want you to get a feel for JavaScript. And what can you do with JavaScript? It's a very interesting theme. Interact with your page in new ways that work for the desktop and mobile phones devices. JavaScript opens up a whole new universe of expression and functionality to your web pages. Let's look at just a few things you might do with JavaScript and HTML5. With HTML5 and JavaScript, you can create a 2D drawable surface right in your page. No plugins required. Make your page's location ever to know where your users are. Show them what's nearby, take them on a scavenger hunt, give them directions, or to bring people with common interests together in the same area. Use web workers as to turbocharge your JavaScript code and do some serious computation, or make your app more responsive. You can even make better use of your user's multi-core processor. Access any web service and bring that data back to your app in near real time. Cache data locally using browser storage to speed up mobile apps. No need for special plugins to play video. Integrate your pages with Google Maps and even let your users track their movement in real time. Create your own video playback controls using HTML and JavaScript. Say goodbye to browser cookies and make use of browser-based local storage. Using JavaScript, you can store lots of preferences and data for users locally in the browsers, and even make it available for offline access. The browser is clearly not just for boring documents anymore. With JavaScript, you can draw pixels directly into the browsers, supercharge your forms with JavaScript to provide real interactivity, build complete video experiences that incorporate video in new ways, use the power of JavaScript to do full-blown video processing in your browser, create special effects and even directly manipulate video pixels. You probably think we searched the web far and wide to find the most exciting examples we could write. Nope, all we did was take screenshots of the examples in the rest of this book. Now that for cool, so now that you're in a webville, it's time to learn the local lingo. JavaScript, come on, let's get started. Writing serious JavaScript. Okay, with all this talk about JavaScript, we bet you're ready to jump and see what it's all about. They don't call this hit first for nothing. We got a super serious business application below that we are going to throw at you. For now, get started by going through the code to get a feel for it. Write down what you think each line does. Don't worry, we don't expect you to understand everything yet, but we bet you can make some really good guess about what this code does. And when you're done, turn the page, continue. Next minute of this video, substitute your favorite drink here and write your answers. Okay, answers will be in the next lesson. And last of this chapter, end of this chapter, final and key points will be bullet points in the next lesson. And you will find all the code and material of this lesson under this video there in the description link to Google Drive. And on this our lesson over. Thanks for watching. This was JavaScript and HTML. And subscribe to my channel. Please put likes, share with friends and comment. And meditate, do more exercise, read more books and drink more water for the brain. Thank you, bye.